What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys, on the channel. In today's video we are going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played, Watford at home, guys. Yes, guys, we are now back from the international break at last, finally. But anyway, guys, let's just get straight into today's video. So we made 4 changes from our last game against Arsenal. Talk about the starting 11. So we started with De Gea, Young, Smalling, Jones, Shaw, Herrera, Matic, Pogba, Mata, Rashford and Martial. Backing up on a couple of things, you guys might be asking, Brett, why is Phil Jones playing? It's because Solskjaer came out and said before the match had even started and said he had some issues, but I don't think it's that. His wife has just had his kid, so I think he's just giving him some time off and let him spend some time with his kid, obviously. So, his wife has only just had a kid, so, why not give him a bit of a break? But he did say he has some issues, but I doubt it. And that was the starting 11, but at the end of the day, Jones was starting. But diving into my overall reaction, it was just one of these games where we didn't start the way how we wanted to started the game. The first 15 to 20 minutes was a little bit sloppy. The intensity was a little bit low. Energy was a little bit low. There was no real urgency in the first 15-20 minutes of the game. Watford started off well. They got on the front foot. They created chances. They tested the goalkeeper. They did everything that they could do inside the first 15-20 minutes. Manchester United just got them on the run of play and scored the first goal, which is frustrating for them because they knew that they probably were dominant in the game. They created more chances than us. United took our chances, scored on our chances, and we took our chances. And that's what football's all about. You've got to take your chances, and Watford didn't. So, frustrating day for Watford. That's what happened in the first half. Second half, it was just one of these where, a little bit disappointing again. We needed to remind ourselves we needed more out of the players, try and kill the game off with another goal. We got that goal by Martial. Great team performance goal, should I say. It was quick 1-2 passing, and there was a bit of a controversy whether if it was offside. It was tight. It was a tight decision, but at the end of the day, still gave the goal to us. We got that goal to kill the game off, but then Watford got a consolation goal just right towards the end. It was just one of these days, where, we didn't really create a load of chances, but we still took our chances, scored on our chances. That's what you have to do in football, and Watford just did the opposite. They created a load of chances in front of goal and didn't take them, and the goal came for them just way too late. But yet again, we gave away a stupid goal because of the defence. What we need to work on there for the next game. Like I said in my last video, I did say if we do switch off, they will score, and they scored, and we switched off. And you cannot switch off against Watford. In these type of games against Watford, I think it's just all about getting the result, getting the 3 points. Let's just see how all the other teams react. Obviously, Arsenal haven't yet to play. We'll know that by when this video is out. We'll know what Chelsea have done. We'll know what Liverpool have done. We'll see how all these other teams get on. It was just one of those days. I wouldn't say it was a good day. I would say it was an average day for us, but we still walked away with the 3 points and we got the win, and that's more important, really. So I think the fans will keep the heads held high, and the players, so that gives the players a good confidence now going up against Wolves. We expected a reaction after back-to-back defeats, and we got that. We got the reaction out of the players. Yet again, we're playing players that are not match fit, the likes of Rashford, Martial, Mata, Lingard. We were a little bit sloppy in areas, and that's what killed the game off in the first 15-20 minutes of the game, but we still turned it around and we still managed to win this game 2-1. I don't think it was the plan, obviously, to come out a little bit slow. I will get into that a little bit more in the game, and I think this is what we have to talk about now. Why are we starting these games slow? I'll talk a little bit about that now. First question, how do I feel after Ollie's first win being permanent manager? It feels amazing. I don't think it's only just that the manager's being permanent as well. I think it was all about the fans had supported the players from start to finish. I think the fans had to really support the players and get this win, because we did get lucky in this game. At the end of the day, Manchester United took our chances, we scored on our chances, and that's football. Watford did the opposite. So it's not only just about for the manager, it's also for the players as well. The fans were absolutely fantastic in the stadium, because obviously I wasn't at the games. It's amazing that Ollie's got his first win being permanent manager, so the hard work starts now. It's his first game won as a permanent manager, so it's good to see that. I feel buzzing, I feel amazing that he's got his first win. We're just going to keep going, but I think it's just all about the consistency from now to the end of the season, and if we can keep getting wins after wins after wins, we just have to walk away with the results that we need. If we do that, Ollie's run will keep going. So if we see that, you never know, we could get a top 3. So he's done well for this first game round, but we cannot get too carried away from this game. We do have another game coming up midweek against Wolves, so it's all about now focusing on the next game against Wolves. There's only a few days to recover, so let's see, you know. So it feels amazing that Ollie's got off with a positive. It's a positive for the players that they've come off international break as well. That's also another thing as well, coming into the first game after international break as well. So at the end of the day, we still walked away with a good win. It's what we need. It's what we need. What did I make of the performance? Now, this is the thing. The performance wasn't that great in this game. I must hold my hands up and say the performance wasn't that great. There was bits in that game where I was on my phone thinking, I whipped out my phone. The performance wasn't, again, pleasing, but we still walked away with a good result. Even though we didn't put out a good performance, we needed to get a win anyway, because we lost back-to-back games anyway. So at the end of the day, it was an average performance. Yet again, it's the first game after international break. We can't say that, you know, it was the first game back, but, you know, you have to come out with a positive. We need a reaction from the players after losing back-to-back games, and it's what we needed. So the performance wasn't pleasing, it wasn't that great. To walk away with still with a win, the 3 points, and the result is what you need at this stage now, because obviously we need to battle for the top 4. So the more we keep getting wins, the more we're going to get points, and the more we get results. So we're just going to keep that consistency going. So like I just said, we'll see what happens with Arsenal over the next day or 2. Now, this is the big question that I'm going to throw out there. Why is Man United starting these games slow? Yes, this is the first game after the international break. You can't just say, yeah, it's the first game after international break. The thing is, it's not only just this game. It's been the last couple of weeks. These games we've started slow. Ollie knows that, and Ollie knows that he needs to, you know, say to his players, we cannot be starting the next game slow. We've got to come out quick. We've got to be playing with a lot of urgency. We have to play with a real urgency. We have to play with energy. Whack up the intensity. We need to play with high intensity, high tempo, with a lot of energy. We need to play with a real urgency. But this is the thing, it's not only just this game, it's applied to the last recent games. And the reason why we've probably started these games slow is because we've gone defensive. We've obviously let the opposition have the first 10-15 minutes to themselves, and then we've gone, we need to adapt, we need to change now, because we've seen how they've played, and then we go, right, we need to hit them a counter-attack. But we cannot defend. Once we get possession, we have to go out there and just give it everything. It's all about going into these games, giving it everything. You have to play with character. In the first 10-15 minutes of the game, we didn't play with character. But in this game, we still played with... There was fight in the game, because we did score 2 goals. We still played with pride, passion. We did it for the badge, we did it for the club. I don't think the game was up there. But yes, we had started this game slow. One, it's because we came off international break, but you have to be better because it is the first game from international break. 2, we've just lacked on energy. 3, there's just no real urgency. 4, there's no character in the first 10-15 minutes. It could be different reasons. But 5, again, we've got players injured. They're not match fit, they're not 100% fit. And it's going to take them still another 1 or 2 games to still get used to that. When we start getting the best out of Lingard, Martial, Rashford, Mata again, scoring goals, that's when they're back in form, and that's when they're back match fit, and that's when they're 100% again. So I think when we see those players 100% fit again, and Lukaku as well, because obviously he was on the bench, but once we see them back in form, match fit, 100%, we will nail these games. But that's the reason why we've been starting slow in these games, because there's just not a lot of character in the first 10-15 minutes of the game. The game management was great, and well, I won't say it was great, but it was good. The personnel was good. We still put on a good game for the fans. It was still a good game to watch, but it was just not pleasing to watch. The performance wasn't that pleasing, so we know that we have to improve on that in the next game against Wolves, because we've got that tough. That's why we've just been starting these games slow recently in these last couple of weeks. But I think wake up and smell the coffee now and get on the front foot and start these games quicker now. How can we resolve this issue? We just got to get on the front foot. We've got to show character. We've got to show energy. We've got to show real urgency at the start of these games now, and that's how we resolve the issue, really. And we just got to go out there, express ourselves, and the motto is, you've got nothing to lose. Never give up. Keep going. And you have to play with fight, pride, passion. You've got to do it for the club. You've got to do it for the badge, and you're playing for one of the biggest teams in England, so you've got to go for it at the end of the day. And this is the Premier League. The Premier League is the Premier League, and you got to go for it in the Premier League. And we just can't go too defensive in the first 10-15 minutes. We've got to throw ourselves. We've got to play with a high intensity. We've got to play aggressive football. We've got to play with a high tempo. We need to play with energy. So we need to get the energy levels back up there, and we need to get the energy levels out of the players as well. So I think that's how we can resolve the issue. Who is my man of the match? Has to be Luke Shaw. Assisted Rashford's goal. Great pass, great pick out by Luke Shaw, but he also did fantastically well on the build-up of Martial's goal as well. So Luke Shaw has to be my man of the match. He's played fantastically well. Did well on the left flank, caused them problems. There was times in the game where he lost the ball but then won the ball back pretty well. So he really gets stuck into these games, and he's another one who was injured as well. He probably wasn't even 100% fit either. So at the end of the day, we still got the win, we still got the victory. It's all about getting these results at this stages of the season, because there's only 7 games remaining. Anyway, talking about the goals, first goal, Shaw won the possession back really well. Shaw ran with the ball, picks out Rashford. Rashford puts it in for 1-0. It was a great goal on the run of play. Watford were on the counter-attack. Luke Shaw capitalised, ran down the pitch, picked out Rashford, puts it in for 1-0. Capitalised. This is football. This is the Premier League for you. You've got to take your chances. That's what Manchester United did. We scored on our chances. We took our chances. It's all you need, really. Second goal, it was a good team performance goal. Shaw passed it to Martial. Martial passed it to Rashford. Rashford passed it back to Martial. Martial passed it to Pereira. Pereira passed it to Lingard. Lingard crossed it back to Martial. Martial shoots. The keeper makes a mistake, and Martial follows up and scores for 2-0. Fantastic. Great team performance goal. It was like pass and move, pass and move, pass and move. One-touch football, really. So fantastic, We could tell that we work on that a lot in training as well. Work hard pays off in training. We've got to keep that going in training. We've only got one good training session going into Wolves, so we've got to pull off a miracle against them as well. Well, not a miracle, but we do need to get revenge. Talking about the substitutions, Mata went off for Lingard. Talk about Mata's performance. It is games like this may convince United to end negotiations about a new contract. Careless and slow. Mata was also penalised for handball more than once. I didn't see these handballs more than once. That's because obviously my streams were kept on failing in the game, so I kept on changing streams in the game because I'm streaming it on the laptop. Matters, it's going to take him time. He's not match fit, he's not 100%, he's just come back from injury, so it's going to take time. Like I just said previously, it's going to take him 1 or 2 games to get back on top of it. Herrera went off for Pereira. Talk about Herrera's performance. Struggled to blow away the cobwebs, even though he returned from injury 2 weeks ago. Did not anticipate as well as he usually does. Again, he's not 100%, he's not match fit. He's only just come back from injury. So, like I said, it's going to take these guys 1 or 2 games to get back used to get their match fitness back. They're not 100% fit, so it's going to take time. You can't expect these players to go out there and give it 100% because they're going to get themselves injured again, and that's why Ollie brought them off for a reason, because he played Mata and Herrera for 60 odd minutes, and that's good because it gives them 60 minutes to play, and they'll be really happy with that they got the game time. Martial went off for Rojo. Talk about Martial's performance. His form since the turn of the year has been questionable, and he was out of sorts again. Dormant for lengthy periods, but got the clincher. Great goal by Martial, you can't complain. It's the same shit, really. it's just going to take him time to get back to 100% fit. He did come off with a knock. I hope it's not too serious. But at the end of the day, we are going to be expecting changes for the next game against Wolves. That's why he sat out Lukaku. Are we going to see Lukaku starting against Wolves? Are we going to see someone like Sanchez isn't even fit yet, so he's not going to be starting in the next game anyway. So great win for us, and it's what we needed. Win done, 3 points done. Next up, Wolves. Wolves are 7th in the table. It's just planned out really well for us because why is that? Because they've just gone and lost 2-0 to Burnley. Burnley in recent games have just lost. And for them to get a victory against Wolves will lift their confidence back up now. Wolves, did they lose that on purpose because they're playing us? I don't know. They played their best players out there. They probably didn't want to give it 100% because they know they've got a massive game against us. Are they saving their players? They could be. They know that they've got us again. They know that they've got the home advantage because we're going away from home again. I think we know what had happened last time round in the FA Cup. We lost that 2-1. But going back to the FA Cup video, I said, we've got to be organised. We've got to be ready. It's a game that you've got to be physically and mentally prepared for. Again, they play with a lot of a counter-attacking threat. They've got quality players in there. So we've got to be ready for this one. It's all about being physically and mentally prepared for this one. We did draw to Wolves at Old Trafford. We'll see how it plans out, but we do need to get revenge on them after losing in the FA Cup and knocking us out. So we do need to get revenge, but it's all about getting again the 3 points, the win, getting the result. I think that's also another fact as well. So we cannot focus on them too much. We cannot focus on them where they are in the table. We do need to focus on ourselves. But we do need to come away with a win against Wolves to get us back up that table. Puts the pressure onto these teams now. So we're playing on midweek. So if we get a good result out of these, I'm hoping their players will be knackered. But I don't think they will because they didn't even score. So did they lose that on purpose? I don't know. We'll have to see because I will be definitely watching the game. But yet again, the players to look out for: Neves, Jota, Moutinho, Jimenez, Costa and Traore. Got a lot of quality in them. They play very aggressive. They've got a lot of pace. They play with a counter-attacking threat. So we've got to be ready. We've got to prepare. We've got to come in physically and mentally prepared. We've got to be ready for this one. Got to be on it as well. Defensive wise, we've got to be on it as well. So we cannot be lazy as well. So like I said previously, he will be making changes. They'll be doing changes as well, so we need to put on a little bit more of a better performance and hopefully come away with the points that we need, the win that we need, and just focus on ourselves. We can't get too carried away. If we prepare well for this game, be ready on the day, physically and mentally prepared, we'll get the job done. Let's take it game by game and hopefully we'll walk away with a good result. I hope you guys have enjoyed another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and peace.